Welcome back to the fields of Perthshire and an absolutely glorious day. Now, I was desperate to get out on the medieval church site, but unfortunately, again, a lot of heavy rain over the last few days, and the fields, I went up, pretty flooded, so just going to leave it for the moment. But, you know, it's always great when you've got a second medieval site. So this is the medieval castle site. This is the one that was conquered by William Wallace back in 1297. It was attacked and captured by Oliver Cromwell and his General Monk. That was his name, he wasn't a monk. So General Monk captured the castle in the middle of the 17th century and destroyed it. But there used to be a village all around it. There used to be a pond. So I've had quite a lot of interesting things off this field in the past, so I'm going to give it a go. Oh, and speaking of William Wallace, a new video up on my other channel, VisitScotlandTours, so if you want to go and check that out, then you will see the beautiful scenery of Perthshire that I can't show you when I'm metal detecting. Right, let's go and see if there's any treasures to be found. It's taken me all of 35 seconds to get my first target. 74.75. Sounds a wee bit leady. Did get a lot of lead off this field before, so we're out. Somewhere in amongst that stuff. I was out for 3.5 hours the other day. I found absolutely nothing. Well, I thought it was there. Well, it's there. It's there. Thought I saw a wee bit of white. It's a little bit of lead. And it might be a wee token, which we've had quite a lot of from this field. It's very sandy soil. Bit of an impression. Plain on that side. And we've dropped the first target straight away. Plain on that side. Let's use the brush. I'm not going to wet it because lead can be a bit unstable. Yep, it is. It's a token, albeit a bent one. I'm not going to try and straighten it. I'm just going to leave it like that. But it's a token. You can see it's a cross with dots in each of the 4 corners. So there's been lots of conjecture, lots of suggestions. Some people have sent me some great information, and it seems like the likelihood is that these are from the 17 or 1800s, field tokens or tallies as they're often called. But they had similar things going way back to the medieval period, so who knows? It'd be fantastic if it was related to the old fort and village that used to be here. So, well, I've done better than I did in 3.5 hours the other day. Well, only 2.5 minutes in. 92-93. Very nice soil, very easy to dig. Well, not sure. Kind of a little aluminium-y. It's a cow tag, I think. It is. It's a cow tag, 41679. Long gone, I'm sure. Oh well. 10 minutes in, signal number 3. And it is a possible coin, 85. Well, it's out at least. Come on. Right, somewhere in here. Pretty shallow. Nothing jumping out. Oh no, there is something jumping out, and it's a coin. Did I get that in shot? I hope so. It looks like a halfpenny to me. What a start. Oh, it's an absolute cracker. Look at that beautiful sandy soil. George the Fifth. Gorgy George. We just give it a wee rub-a-dub on my blankie. Don't think I'll need any water. Very sandy, so it's just dropping off. That is an absolute cracker of a coin. I might struggle to get a date though, because the back is looking a bit corroded. Typical, right at the date spot as well. Oh no, 1922, we got it. A halfpenny. Look at the patina on that. That really is a thing of beauty. Absolutely stunning. Our most common coin that we find. And lots of people think it just bizarre that we find so many coins. And sometimes you do wonder, did people just come into fields and just throw coins away? But if you start to do the maths, if you start to think of, at harvest time, hundreds of people in these fields, if every person lost, a button or a coin once a year, start to do the maths, then you realise how much stuff there could be here. 25 minutes in. So far, 3 targets. This is number 4. Pretty solid 84. But I'm not thinking... Oh. I'm not thinking coin. I don't think it's a coin. It's a wee bit chirpy. Could be aluminium or lead. It is. It's lead. That is a musket ball. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. What a great start I'm having already. So that's a wee musket ball. Well, a wee musket ball. It's massive. That's a very big musket ball. It's lead, and it's... has it been fired? Well, it might have been. I suppose the soil's so soft here, it probably wouldn't miss shape unless it hit a stone, and there are not that many stones. So it's probably 17th century, maybe 18th century. But, well, you never know. It could be from the 1650s, from the attack on the village by Oliver Cromwell's soldiers. But yeah, well, not the kind of thing you'd want to get hit with. This would have a reasonably effective range of about 100 metres, about 330 feet, travelling at about 450, 500 metres per second, so pretty devastating. Certainly wouldn't want to be hit by one of them. Didn't even need to dig this, it was sitting on the surface, but it's part of a buckle, maybe a shoe buckle, maybe horse buckle, but it looks a bit thin for horse buckle, so I'm going to go with shoe buckle. Maybe Georgian, but yeah, it's another find. Almost missed this one because of the long stubble, but it's a wee squeaky 78, could be lead again. Not sounding very good, to be honest. Still on the 10-inch coil, because my 13, the battery died. What have we got here? We've got a clod. Yeah, the battery died on my 13-inch coil when I was out with Simon the other day. Oh, there it is. It's just a bit of stuff, bit of copper something. An old bracelet, just a bit of junk. Who knows, clean it up when I get home. A very quiet 50. Turn the soil over, very quickly identify that. I don't think it's a hammered coin, but I just wanted to film this just in case. I think it's a button or a bullet. I think it's a button. It's the dreaded tomback. It is. Oh, the sun has suddenly come out very strongly. So that is a little tomback button. A mixture of copper and zinc, created in the 18th century, and the new metal mixture was known as tomback, and it's a scourge of a metal detector, as you can see when you find something It's a tomback button and it comes up like that, especially when it's about that size. You think you've found a silver coin, you get very excited, and it turns out it's just tomback. But still, late 1700s, maybe early 1800s, so a good sign again. Doing pretty well today. Am I seeing things? A little bit of lead, scratchy target, dug it up, there it is. Is that a person? Possibly another person? Or am I just imagining it? Let me know in the comments below. It always amazes me just how small a target a metal detector can find. So that was about 5 inches down and it was very, very faint, but still. I thought there was an outside chance it could have been something good. But there you go, if you're finding that, you're not missing much. An 83 this time. Could be our first bit of aluminium, maybe. Maybe. But you gotta dig it, just to make sure. I'm hoping I can get a turner today, an old 1600s or a bobby, because such lovely soil. I wonder how good a condition would come out. Am I in the wrong place? Probably, knowing me. No, I don't think I am, but I'm going to have to turn you off for a sec and get back to you. Okay, we're out, and to be honest, I was expecting an aluminium can. I'm down a good, what are we talking, 8 to there. Yeah, probably 9 inches, maybe 10 inches just came out there. What am I not seeing? Oh, there it is there. It's a great big bit of lead. Look at that. Massive piece of lead. A bit rough and ready in shape, but, well, that was a banging signal, wasn't it? Not bad at all. Could be ancient, could be fairly modern. More lead. But, as I mentioned at the start, you get a lot of lead on medieval sites, so it's always a good sign. They used lead for absolutely everything. Just going the hour mark. And we've got an 87. It's always good to have lots of options in terms of permissions for detecting. Soil's just a wee bit heavier here, so we'll cut a wee block out. We've got a worm. Every time I see a worm now, I expect a gold coin. It definitely sounds coin-like. Don't think it was very deep at all. I seem to be getting worse and worse at using the pinpointer. There it is. It's a coin. It's a coin, and it's you know who. It's another absolutely stunning patina of a George V. Fantastic. Look at the quality of that coin. God, if only all your coins came up looking like that. That is an absolute beauty. It's not old, but it's going to take pride of place in my cabinet. Unless the farmer wants it. There you go. It's an absolute beauty. 1 penny in 1915. Look at the condition of that. That is exceptionally good. So, during the Great War, George V at war with his own cousin, Tsar Nicholas II. Sorry, no, not Tsar Nicholas. Tsar Nicholas was his cousin, but he was Russian. Kaiser Wilhelm II. So 1915 was quite a pivotal year, lots happening. The invasion of Gallipoli, which was a bit of a disaster for British Australian forces against the Turks. And then also 1915 was the sinking of the Lusitania, which happened just off the south coast of Ireland. And the Lusitania was a huge cruise ship. It was like the Titanic. I think it had about 2,000 people on board. And a German U-boat, a German submarine, sank it off the south coast of Ireland. It was travelling between New York and Liverpool. And it was actually built in Clydebank, just to the west of Glasgow, in Scotland. But it was torpedoed. It sank incredibly quickly. And over 1,200 people were killed. And of those 1,200 people, about 150 of them were American, were from the United States. And that began to put pressure on the US government to get involved, which they later did in 1917. But there you go, beautiful coin, gorgeous George. This one was a 50. Never did I expect it to potentially be a coin. I swear I can see a couple of letters there. If it is a coin, it might be. It is a coin. A 50, unbelievably low. Well, I don't know if I'm going to get any detail off this, if it is a coin. But I'll, off camera, give it a wee brush, and then we'll get the bendy thumb on it. Well, we got coin number 3, and it's fairly in terrible condition, right by the edge of the field. So I was expecting, to be honest, a piece of aluminium or tin foil coming through at a 50. However, I can identify it because I can just see the word Regina on that edge, which is Queen. And we haven't had many queens. And in fact, in Scotland, we haven't had a queen in a long time, since the 1700s, Queen Anne. However, this is much more recent. This is Queen Victoria. Well, I say we haven't had a queen in Scotland. We have. We've had Victoria, but you know what I mean. It's a farthing. It's a quarter of a penny, and I can just see the date at the bottom. It's 1900, so 1 year before she died. And I've been on a run with farthings recently. I hadn't had one in years. I think this is about 5 or 6 I've had in the last couple of weeks or month or so. So, quarter of a pence back in the days of old. And in 1900, as I mentioned on a previous video, you could buy a sparrow for a quarter of a penny, a farthing, at a market in London. And I wasn't sure why, but apparently a lot of people said in the comments people used to eat them. In contrast, you could also buy 3 fresh oysters in bread from a street seller in London, and that was also a farthing, a quarter of a penny. I'm not sure I'd want either, to be honest. I've never tried an oyster before. I'm a bit kind of frightened, but there we go. Queen Victoria, the grandmother of George V. I don't know what it is, but it's big and it's very loud. 99. I think it's got to be a big brass doorknob or something. Might actually be massive. I can feel something under there. It's going to be a Ford Cortina or something like that. Oh, there it is there. My God. Well, I wasn't going to miss that target, was I? What on earth is that? Well, it's a thing. I think it's like a massive paint tin or something like that. Biggest find of the day. Not convinced. 77. But, yeah, not sure. I'm going to take a wee brick out. Bit more clay in the soil of this side of the field. Nah, sounds pretty junky to me. Ooh. No. We're in here. A clod shot. Oh, what's that? Well, that's round, isn't it? Oh, it's not round. It's a thing. What is that? Strange looking object. What is that? Well, it's some sort of copper alloy. Bit of greenery coming through, and it's got a wee crusty face on it. So, who knows? Let me know in the comments below. Don't think it's very old. That's a hefty big lump of lead. Again, purpose unknown. I've said it many times, if in doubt, dig it out, deep hole, and listen to that. I think it's got to be a coin. Has to be, it's got the perfect tone. And it is a coin, right there. We might have an imprint, but it is quite sandy soil. Well, kind of. The sun's just come out at the right point. And yet again, look who it is. Gorgy George is here. Again, looking absolutely beautiful once again. Lovely green patina. Look at that. Like it was made yesterday. What year are we talking? What's 1911? 1911. So there you go. He'd only just taken the throne in 1910, or become king in 1910. I think his coronation was 1911. So his father, old Dirty Bertie, had died. He'd been on the throne for 9 years. And bizarrely, George V and his father, Edward the seventh, had a phenomenal relationship. Incredibly good relationship, which for the royal family was almost unheard of. Generally, the fathers and the children hate each other. Some would say that's still happening just now. Yeah, well, in some capacity. But there we go. George V, 1911, 3 years before the start of the Great War, and 6 years before he changes the family name from the House of Saxe, Coburg and Gotha to the House of Windsor. And in fact, no, that was 1919 that happened, after the First World War. Or was it? Well, it was one or the other. 1917 or 1919. Brilliant. Another coin. Number 4, I think. Initially I thought coin, but right numbers, but not the right kind of sort of volume of readout. Nah, too high. Way up to 89. Aluminium, I think. Well, what is that? Is it a coin? If it is, it could be silver. No, it's not. It's got something attached to it. Here. It's fabric, I think, or leather or something. What is that? It's a button. It is. It's a button. With a great big bit of material still stuck to the back of it. What about that for preservation? Look, there's the loop. There is the loop. So, well, that's an interesting thing. It's silvered or tinned, and it's got a great big lump of fabric attached. Don't want to take it off just because it's still there. So, to be honest, it almost feels a bit like a rubbery material. So there you go. There's the loop. Maybe it's part of an early, what do they call it? A Macintosh, a Mac, a waterproof jacket, invented by a man called Mr. Macintosh, who was from, you guessed it, Scotland. Date-wise, that's probably going to be about 100 years old, I think. Nice wee thing. Don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but look at the amount of spiders' webs. The whole ground is absolutely blanketed with them now that the sun's just broke through at this angle. Getting lower in the sky. Everywhere you look. It's obviously a little bit of a hatch on. Right, I've decided I'm going to try and do a wee live. I think I'll do a wee 20-minute, half-hour live. See if anyone's on, seeing as it's a Saturday afternoon. Well, in my haste to do a live video, I forgot to do a summary, a finish-up. So I hope you all enjoyed. I'm at work just now. Well, soon to be. And I'd just been editing my video while having a coffee. So hopefully I'll see you all on the next dig. And hopefully you enjoyed. I'm off to try and find myself a new permission. Maybe that one back there. See you all soon.